everybody. Yeah. Welcome to this beautiful Sunday inspiration call. How do you go? What are the ancient secrets to go from feeling depleted to feeling invigorated? What are the Marmaa Shakti secrets for your vibrant health, unlimited energy, and peace of mind that you can do at home? So excited actually to be here with you. Just one second. I actually have with me, I'm so happy. I have with me not only the book in English, but also in Russian, in Spanish, because I'm giving these away as a gift soon. And, if this is your first time on this Sunday inspiration call, this is the Ancient Secrets community, which are actually applying these principles, which go back thousands of years today in a way that we can see that the power for vibrant health and limited energy and peace of mind is inside of you. The best thing I love about these ancient secrets is it points you back to yourself, and there's no call that will be more powerful in sharing that than today. Because today we're going to actually share some of the Marmaa Shakti secrets you can do at home where you'll look awesome. In the moment of need, you can help yourself or someone else in a really powerful way. And we have some really fantastic stories that go along with the Marmaa and also some new friends for you to meet. First of all, I want to say we got Dr. Stephen and Mojda, I think, joining us from Delhi. Can you say hi?
I just got here today. I was in Mumbai at the clinic. I had hurt my leg right after I saw you in Salt Lake City. Something went crazy with my back and my leg. And I literally went to Rishikesh with Dr. Smita and Dr. Giovanni and Deepika and Mojda, and I couldn't walk. So I went back to the clinic, and I am walking in Delhi right now. I had intense twice a day panchakarma, and I had a chiropractor that I met there last time, and here I am in Delhi. We're going to the Lotus Temple, the Baha'i Lotus Temple, the Taj Mahal, and then we're going to go see Sai Ma's ashram in Varanasi before we go back to Mumbai.
Wow, that is so cool. Now we have so many people that are in the detox, the delicious detox process right now. The people who are in the 7-day detox completed it with a big celebration. Those in the 30-day delicious detox are now in that period of time where they do the same thing every day. Any inspiration or wisdom that you want to give them, Dr. Stephen?
Well, the thing is, our people constantly say, oh, should I do this? Is it going right? Just keep doing it. That you just follow the program. The wonderful thing about this program, it's laid out so well that all you have to do is look every day what to do. And just as Dr. Naram would say, knowing is not doing, doing is doing. And you just do it. The mind will chatter, the cravings will come, the symptoms here and there. But then at the end, you'll be so happy that you stuck with it. For sure. This is an example right here, sticking with her detoxes.
Yes. You're muted.
Yep, you're muted.
Yeah, well, beautiful. Any wisdom you'd give, Mojda?
Well, I was in trekking in Himalaya, and it was great. So many hours of like trekking and just being quiet and being peace. And really what I got was like peace and harmony within.
Because there's hell and rain and deep snow and no heat.
Oh my goodness.
Before you're strong.
Well, I hope I don't know. Are you able to stay on the call a little bit, Dr. Stephen? Because I want to share a video of something that happened in your clinic. And because we're talking about Marmaa Shakti today. Anything you want to start off talking about Marmaa Shakti?
Yeah, I think I remember. Is this the John shoulder we're gonna see?
Yeah, we're gonna share that today.
Yeah, miracles happen. When I was with Dr. Naram, I go to Frozen Shoulder Day, and 150 people would come with frozen shoulders. And doing simple Marmaa, though it was painful, he'd release frozen shoulders in one visit. People came from hours drive, if not a whole day. And the example keeps being shown over and over again how powerful it is.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Well, I'm so glad that you guys are joining from India. I just want everyone to go ahead and put in the chat one word that describes what you're feeling right now in this moment. And one of the gifts of being part of this community is that by joining these Sunday inspiration calls, actually it's a lesser known part of Marmaa, but Marma's not just about pressing points. It's not just knowing and doing, there's actually the being. And one of the gifts of coming on these calls and hearing the story is it pops you into that vibration, such a powerful way.
That's that. The gathering of good people together. That's why we're here.
I see Esther Francis, one of our golden angels, raising her, shaking her head. Yes. Esther, were you on the call yesterday by any chance? Just curious if you were able to join that one.
No, I didn't. I somehow missed it.
No problem. So glad you're here. Yesterday we had one of the training calls for the 100-day experience in which we showed one of the most powerful Marmas for actually someone who's been paralyzed since 2002, Eric. And Dr. Ram had been doing the Marmas for him, but then for 3 years during COVID, he wasn't able to do any of the Marmas. We did it. People saw where finally I was able to go there in the clinic of Dr. Dagmar, and we did the Marmas. Actually, I just want to show, because some people weren't on the call, I'm just going to show some of the magic moment. Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll wait a little bit for that. I'm going to introduce some of the other people on the call. But basically, for me, even that I know the power of the Marmaa Shakti, to see this happen, there's such a thrill. He did things he hasn't done since 2002, being paralyzed with major disruptions in L4, L5, L6, and L7. And just seeing his joy, Dr. Dagmar's joy. Actually, I'm just going to play this, see if I can just play at least this little clip. There was a section that I didn't show yesterday. Let's see if I can just play it right now because it's so magical. But right before that, though, I want Jaina, can you go, first of all, Esther, what do you feel like the benefit of the Sunday calls for you? Why do you keep coming? What happens on these Sunday calls? Since you're one of the golden angels, I just want to hear your voice about what if someone's new for the first time on today's call, why do you come? And how can they take best benefit?
I come because for me, it is the heart of all the offerings. And it was my entry point to this community, to these teachings, to this love. And to me, we talk about miracles. I'm a dancer who, Saturday night is a big deal. That I wake up at like 6:30, 6:45 every Sunday. The only time I missed it was when I've been really sick. And even when I had COVID and was sick and didn't want, in my jammers and stringy hair, I would listen. So that to me speaks volumes of how enriching, how much love, how, the stories, the inspiration, no other community have I been in, has there been such a permission, such a yes to expressing our entirety of love that's available to us and rejoicing in the healings and the breakthroughs of others, while at the same time, or I call it non-others as one word, N-O-N, small letter others, there's no such thing but what we call not this body. And it's extraordinary. It's a gift. It's a highlight. It sets a tone and a key, not only for the day, but for the week. And just like with, when we talk about a diet or detoxing, whatever, this is intox, but not as tox as something that's toxic and bad, but it's like the other side of the spectrum where you're infusing with the Amrita, with that pure juice of love, divine love, spirit, community, and that feeds everything. So it's not only what we don't do, it's what we put in. So the Sunday calls for me are the infusion of that that place where love and peace and generosity and all that comes together in a big cornucopia.
We have to invite Esther to speak about every Sunday morning. That was so articulate and beautiful and wonderful. Esther, thank you for that. And Sorry,
And
I had to
Gary,
jump.
you were always the big part of that because, you know, your capacity to take us into our heart, you know, that place that we always reside, but we can, you know, forget to make central. You have the gift of helping us remember and realize and live in that space together. Just extraordinary. So love you, Gary, and all that you bring. You're a big part of why that Sunday, you know, reeled me in originally and continues to.
Well,
Uh,
if there's a chance, Clint, I think I found something that would be perfect to play. It's a song, but when you want a spotlight or whatever, I have a lovely celebratory thing that would be lovely to play.
so beautiful. Thank you so much, Gary. And thank you, Esther. Esther is one of the Golden Angel Council. I was just trying to find a picture so I could spotlight all of them, but all the Golden Angels are these wise, amazing women who are forming the heartbeat, I would say, of this community. And so I actually want to be starting each of these calls with one of the Golden Angels sharing something. And one of the really deep conversations we've been having that's so lovely is, how do you know when love is guiding you? You know, the opening quote for this book is, I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you. Really, the heart of this community is it's not a business, it's not a religion, it's not a government, it's a movement, but it's a movement guided by love, in which we don't put anyone on the pedestal, but you're the master and love is the guide. Love is on the pedestal. And so how do you know it's not ego guiding you or fears or those things? How do you know love is guiding you? So keep that in your mind today, because Marmaa Shakti isn't just about pressing points and seeing magic happen. You know, it looks like a miracle, but it's based on an ancient science. And it's not just about knowing and doing. It's not just about the mechanics of press this point and remember how to do. It's so much about the being. And if you miss that, you miss everything. Some people, Dr. Naram, he would say, they come to him and they'd be angry. They'd be like, how come you taught Dr. Clint Marmaa Shakti? You didn't teach me. He says, I taught you the exact same thing. He did it. And so what the difference is, I'm telling you right now, at the beginning of the call, I'm revealing the secret, is that it's your being. Your being makes all the difference, and it's totally within your power. And as we're going through the detox, which is the physical detox and the subconscious detox, you start to let go of everything that's not you, and you become who you are naturally. It's not even about learning something. It's more about releasing and just remembering. And so on these calls, it's like we're sitting around the sacred fire of your soul. And we get to reveal you to us and celebrate the beauty and the magic and the miracle of you. Jaina, I want to thank you for hosting the last calls with so much power, authenticity, love, beauty. Can you just go through, Jaina, a couple of the responses from people about where they're at right now? And then we'll jump in. And I also want to welcome our new friends real quick. I want to welcome our new friends. We have with us a special guest who will be doing some special reading. Let me see if I can, actually, if you're new on the call, I just want you to put in the chat right now, hello. You just write hello, because we want to welcome you especially, but I want to welcome this special guest. Here she is, Emma Hobson. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Thank you. Say yes. Yes.
Yes. 80 years young, am I correct?
90.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry for not giving you the additional credit that you deserve. 90 years young, an author of 2 books of poetry, and here to drop us into a space of laughter, inspiration through 2 poems. Now, ML, we're going to come to you in a second. Not quite yet, but I just wanted to welcome you on the call.
Thank you.
All right, we'll come back to you in a moment. And Karen, thank you so much for introducing us to one of your best friends and giving us the gift of having this delicious experience that I'm so looking forward to today. Beautiful. And then we also have some other guests on the call today. I just want to see if they're here. Alex, are you on the call yet? Or Tyler and Maya? I don't know if you're here yet. Anyway, welcome.
Are here.
We're here.
Oh, let's see. Where are you? I want to see you. Say it again. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Oh my goodness. Makes
Here
me
with Guy too. So he's
oh yeah.
green bean soup breakfast this morning.
Yeah. I got a video. So you made your first mung soup ever. Was it this week, or I try to remember what day it was that I got the message. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
The day after we saw you and flew back home.
Oh yeah, here it is. I got this message. Let's see what day. I just want to just track the dates if I can. Yeah, this is on Monday. I got this beautiful message from Tyler saying the journey begins.
Yes.
Actually, you know, when I came and I spoke at that event, and you came to me right afterwards. So I spoke at an event was on Friday. I can't remember, Friday, I think it was.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so no one knew I was coming to this event. No one knew except for my brother knew. The night before, on Thursday night, you guys had a conversation. And can you share what was that conversation? Because this is like how the magic happens. It's so fun.
You want to go?
Go ahead, Maya.
The conversation was about how we missed the opportunity to really connect with Clint when we met each other in Hawaii, actually just a month ago. But we realized that it was just because we were so tired, both of us traveling. And so there were some things that came up during this time that Tyler really found some answer just by listening to your book.
Mm.
And so Tyler had you in the ear for like the past, 2 years.
He said he'd been listening to the audiobook because he's been planting fruit trees all around his garden.
Yeah.
So each book has a chapter associated with it.
Yeah.
With each tree. And then Tyler's like, gosh, Maya, I just really wish like we could see Clint again and get you some help with some health issues that I'm dealing with. And then I thought to myself, that would be so magical. Where in the world are we going to need to go to find Clint? And then I'm like, is it the New Zealand? I was like, you know what? I'm going to do anything to go to New Zealand to find Clint. The next day at the event, Clint just shows up out of nowhere.
Walks in the back door.
Yeah. I've never got a more warm welcome in my life. It was like, I wish everyone could be welcomed that way whenever they walk into a room, because Julia Graydon, I don't know if she's on the call. I think she's in Mexico right now on an event, but she had just spoken and just shared the book with people, her own journey in such a way the day before. And several people had talked about what had happened during the detox and different things. And so people knew, but they didn't know I was coming. And so when I walked in, Maya came to me afterwards. She says, I think that we're the ones that called you here. And then I didn't know that in the next couple of days unfolding would be such a deep healing journey for all of us, in which we were definitely purging away lots of stuff that wasn't us and coming back into a place of genuine love. And I got to ask, what do you want? I want to acknowledge both these people because, Tyler, how much weight have you lost in the last couple of weeks? You've been listening to the audiobook and many beautiful things you've been doing.
Yeah. In the last month, I've lost about 20 pounds, and I've completely
20 pounds.
Yeah.
You're getting applause. I see people on the video applauding you. And now they're starting the journey with the mung beans for the first time. And how was your first batch of mung?
It was great. We're on batch 3 now, making the big batches, and every morning we're starting out with the super energy drink instead of coffee. So
yeah, good. And then they sent me this video of their son having mung bean soup for I don't know if this is the first time, but
it's the first time. It's like, how is it? And he says, eh.
What I love about the mung bean and the energy drink that is, it's so delicious. And then I thought, yeah, but how do you eat this for like such a long time?
Yeah.
And the answer is here. It's like my body automatically started to crave it. It's like I go through the day and I'm like, I can't wait to go home and have some mung bean soup. And I'm like, who am I? Like, that is so bizarre.
Yeah, I had a piece of bread yesterday and immediately went to sleep afterward. It was like, no, that's not good.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. You get more intuitive, and then you start to know what things feel like inside of you. So just because you're barely new on your journey, and then you had a question. You had one of the consultations with one of the Vaidyas in India, and then you sent me this question. Can I read it, or would you like to speak it? Because I want everyone to give their own opinion on this.
I'm happy to speak it. I'm happy to speak it. Yeah, so everyone who is in this journey, we would love the advice about the herbs.
Yeah.
had the consultation, and it was actually very quick, very straightforward. And then Doctor, I forgot the last name right now.
I think it was either Ramchandra or Pranav, one of the two.
Pranav,
Yeah.
yes. So he said, yes, that's wonderful. I think the best thing for you to do is 20-day detox, and I'm going to send you, herbs. So
Yeah.
it's going to be in touch. And I was like, that's great, probably a few herbs. And then the email comes with this like, yes, but the investment, it's like almost $700-800 for 4 months of herbs. And I felt like this pressure in me, like, whoa, but that's such a big investment for herbs, right? And then slowly I started to sink into, it's not such a big investment, but the question is like, I guess I'm just curious, how does this work for some of you who have tried it? What are the benefits? What was your journey with herbs that are part of this journey? So I would love to hear from some of you, like anything would be super helpful as I'm preparing for this detox.
I love seeing your baby in the video. It's so fun. Tell me his name again.
That's Kai.
Kai. Oh, Kai, so beautiful. Marya, thank you for your honesty. It's a real question. It's an investment for sure. And so be thinking about that. Anyone on the call that may have an answer, you can put your response in the chat, and then we'll come back to this after a certain period of time. But I also want to say thank you. It was really fun. I heard about the conversation. I'm holding the book in Russian and Spanish, but I can't wait for the day when I'm holding in Slovenian. And Tyler had a conversation with Marya. He said, I think you need to translate the book in Slovenian. She's like, but I've never read it. He's like, no problem. You're going to love it. And so then we put them together with Mara, who's the one coordinating the whole thing. And yeah, anyway, I'm so excited about that too, because hopefully we'll be soon in Ljubljana.
Yes, I hope so. And between that conversation and now, I was able to go through your entire book on the audio.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So I think it was really, really powerful. But yeah, I would love to hear some shares from everybody here in the group. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Kai, so good to see you. So good to see you, Kai. All right, we're going to come back to you after a moment. So stay tuned and we'll come back to you. But great question. Very honest, beautiful question. Jaina, handing it actually right before that, so many other cool things. I just want to say, I want to see if Alex, because this is so fun news. I just got this news last week talking about the book in different languages. We have Alex.
Hello.
Hello. Your screen is doing some funny thing, but I was just talking about, the book being translated in Spanish. Can you share the awesome news that you shared with me?
Yeah, we're going to be on TV this coming Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Well, it's 2:30 p.m. in Mexico. Every week I am in Mexican TV. Yeah. From Cuernavaca, Morelos. So I invited Clint because when I was in TV, I said, I need to bring Clint. So he needs to be here because we need to share this knowledge based on Dr. Naram mission to the whole world.
Yeah.
So this is to introduce in Spanish the teachings in Mexico.
Yeah.
So like 12 minutes. Yeah. So we need to plan that. It's going to be fun part. And I'm going to put the link on the chat so you can watch live if you want. And after that's going to be saved. So you can watch it anytime. So the link is there. It's called Lo de Hoy Morelos. So it's there. You can watch. So it's going to be next Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Mexico time. We'll have 10-12 minutes.
So powerful. Now the book will be on Mexican TV. The Ancient Secrets are going to go through Mexico. Last week, we heard Giovanni Villarano speak. He's living in Mexico and talked about some of the powerful experiences with Marmaa Shakti. I mean, with the detox. And he shared 2 cases. You remember last Sunday? He shared one person went through the detox, but always worried about how they were not perfect about everything and didn't enjoy the experience at all. The other person went through the entire detox, wasn't perfect about everything, but still saw the results and enjoyed the whole thing. And he gave us that powerful example. I'm so happy, Alex, to have met you. In fact, it was so fun in Mount Shasta when I was speaking that you had already read the book and that you volunteered with so much love that day. I just want to say thank you. And that we call this contagious healing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a contagious healing because who would have known, Alex? And who knows what our journey is from here? Who knows how many lives you'll change just through this inspiration, being guided by love to put this on TV in Mexico. So fun.
Yeah, one of the goals, Clint, is to make a great job. So if other TV hosts see that, I want to bring this person to my program. So that's the goal, because he's going to be there forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Some other exciting announcement too. Gary, I don't think you know this, but can you describe Yasmin's podcast? Because this week I'll be recording for one of the #1 podcasts in all of the Arabic countries. I don't know, Gary, you could probably describe it more than me, but
Yeah, Yasmin, Gateways to Awakening. I met Yasmin at Rancho La Puerta. She's become a very close friend. She calls me her mentor. I kind of think she's my mentor, actually. And being interviewed by her is like being in the Maserati of interviews. It's fantastic.
yeah, it's a little bit like being interviewed by the Oprah of the Middle East. A little bit like this.
Well, and it's more than even the Middle East, because she's actually Apple. She's one of the top 5% of all podcasts in the Apple system. So it's not even just the Middle East. So it's wonderful. I'm so excited. It's so amazing for me because I meet somebody and then I have the privilege of being able to refer and nominate them to these organizations. And you and Yasmin are now part of the Association of Transformational Leaders. So yeah, no, it's called Gateways to Awakening, wherever podcasts can be found. And it won't be released for a few months because she has many that are in the queue. But wait, look for it and start ahead. There's my interview is there. Look for Gateways to Awakening and you can hear mine as well. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. Yasmin, I'll put her name in the chat so you can know how to find her. Okay.
So beautiful. And then Jana, thank you for your patience. I want to read some of the comments, and I see some people raising their hand, and you can facilitate that conversation before we drop in with our poetry that will drop us in our heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just so grateful Carol Ray is here. Could you make her a co-host? That would be wonderful. I don't know about you guys, but just in the few short minutes of this call, my heart is exploding with gratitude and with love. Let's rub our hands together and just thank Dr. Clint, Gary, the cute couple that came on with their baby, Alex, all of the people that have spoken this morning, including Esther Francis's beautiful hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. There's not any place in the world that you get to experience this kind of love and this kind of joy and acceptance. It's amazing. Thank you.
Beautiful. You're so beautiful. Let's put our hands together and let's give all the love back to this just bundle of awesomeness that just shows up with so much love. We love you and we're with you, Jana.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It feels so good. I've loved to read these messages in the chat. So many people are full of excellence. I've got to go back up. We've had so many things. Beverly is feeling strong, and Susan is feeling inspired, and Stephanie is full of purpose. Morjean, I think you said that you were full of. Morjean, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to ask a question. I just wanted to share. I'm an animal communicator and I coach clients and everything. And the most important thing I tell them all the time is that their state of being, who they are every moment affects everything they do. If you're in a state of love, it affects your food when you're fixing it. It affects your food when you're eating it. If you're in a state of love, it helps your animals. Because a lot of people have animal problems because their people are not in a state of being of love. They're confused, they're worried, they're stressed out. I taught a class and told people in an animal communication class that if they were in love eating their food, it was totally different than when they prepared all this organic food, which we did in class. And then they sit down and they watch the news, or they watch something that upsets them. All that good food goes right through their stomach. They don't get hardly any benefit from it because all that stress affects what they're doing. So I just wanted to say that your state of being, doing everything, doing your work, talking to somebody, being with your animals, affects everything you do. So one of the reasons I love this class is because you're taught it to be in a state of love in everything you do, and it affects your whole entire life. Everything. You're more centered, you're more calm, it's the most important thing is just every day, no matter what you're doing.
Regina, it's so beautiful. I was just listening to Michael Singer, you know, the author of The Untethered Soul and The Surrender Experiment. And he was talking with Tony Robbins, and he was talking about how we have this infinite connection to joy and happiness automatically inside of us. And if we are off center, then we are not connected to that. But if we close our eyes and connect with that feeling of joy that automatically just pulsates through us, we can connect with that and radiate that out. What I've discovered being on the detox for the last 3 weeks, I've detoxified all of those feelings and emotions and you know, and I'm like Dr. Clint said, is there's so much more intuitiveness, and to be able to connect with that feeling of joy and that feeling of love is so much more expansive when I'm on the detox. So it's beautiful.
Very more intuitive. I teach people how to be more intuitive and listen to their inner guidance. And when you're in that state of love, you're 100 times more intuitive. That you can't be intuitive like I do. Deal with people who have lost animals, and to them it's like they're lost children. And I have to teach them to get into a place of love and calmness in order to draw that animal back to them, in order to hear their guidance of where to go, what to do. Because when they're in fear and anxiety and crying every day, they can't connect with their animal. They cannot know where to look. They can't know where to put a poster. So again, you're more intuitive. You're listening to your inner being when you're in a state of love. And you can just breathe for a few minutes into your heart and think of happy things and get there.
It's so true. I love the story in this book about Gia, where Dr. Clint or Dr. Naram was talking with Gia, and she scratched him. And it, you know, there were a lot of people around, and it stunned him, and it took him off of his center. And then automatically he knew what to do, and he brought him back into center. He eliminated the fear and the ego. And once he eliminated the fear and the ego and came back into presence, then he was able to continue on with his treatment with Gia, which was successful. You know, it was wonderful. It is such a huge lesson to me, that story.
Yeah. And today, let's say, okay, I'm not in that state. Oh, and I was about to swear just now, but let's say you have that feeling of, oh man, what are all these happy people? And you know, we'll teach you a Marmaa Shakti, how you can change from feeling depleted and also be gentle on yourself when you're in that space as well. How you can go in a matter of minutes, give yourself a chance to feeling replenished. And so after Jana's completed, we'll start actually with some of the Marmaa and then go into the drop-in experiences.
Wonderful. Thank you. Janet, would you like to speak really quickly?
Hi, thank you. Thank you for letting me speak. I just wanted to basically let you know, all of you people that are listening and listening to the recording later, if you're interested in the Sedona event, the Ancient Secrets Summit, I've created a WhatsApp group for us to exchange ideas, you know, places to go, places to stay, maybe roommates, those kind of things. So if you're interested in getting in that chat, if you could email me, and I'll put my email in the chat here. If you could email me your name and your phone number, and I will have you added to the chat. That's all I really wanted to say. I hope you can all come because I can't wait to go. I'm manifesting this trip. I want to meet everybody. I want to hug everybody. I want to be in their energy. So can't wait.
It's going to be exciting. So Janet, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. I'm like, what are we day? What is it? The 19th, 15 days in, the 30-day detox, halfway there, feeling great. So much more energy. Been emotionally detoxing through this, purged so much out of my emotional body. Really feeling grateful about that. It seems like the more that you do the detox, it's my 3rd time. So it just seemed like that was deeper and deeper and deeper, that other layer coming up, and ready to say goodbye. Like Jimbo says, thanks for stopping by. They stayed a long time, but they're going now.
Awesome. So glad. Thank you so much for bringing in the Sedona event. We're so excited about that.
Yeah, I just want to add to that as well. It's amazing when you connect with in love. It's almost like you, even not meeting each other, I feel like I know so many of you. How cool that for the first time in 3 years since the book's published, we're going to meet live. And then it's not going to be your typical event. And so I saw in the chat, Andrea had posted the link, but I even want to share my screen and just actually share the link. Oh, this week also, it was really fun. I was with, I'll just share this real quick. This week I was with Lee and Monica, and we recorded a little thing because right before our event is another event called the Love Connection. And so you're welcome to both events, but just coming to the Sedona, the Unstoppable Love event, I just wanted to show you on the Eventbrite page. So you click on that link and you come here, and it describes a little bit about what's happening, although let's face it, it's indescribable, you know. And then when you click on get tickets on the Eventbrite page, you'll see that the first 100 people get the early bird discount ticket. So you want to get your tickets soon because these are going fast. And then the other thing is, after those first 100 are done, then the next 50 will be this amount, and then the next 50 will be this amount. So it's just a little way to incentivize, get your tickets now. Oh, I also wanted to show there is an option because we created where people can actually share housing together at a more reasonable rate. Sometimes the hotels are expensive or other things. And so below it, you can see there's add-ons of where you can actually house with other people for real reasonable cost. You can get together with other friends in the community, say, hey, let's share a room at this house. And then after the event's over, you go home and you still talk. And so that's where some of the most magical things happen, are in those spaces that are not so defined. It's just love is guiding those conversations. That's where so much of the healing happens. So we've got an Airbnb of several houses where community can stay together, or you can get your own hotel. Joseph Engman worked so hard to get some discount hotel options too, and you can find that all there. So thank you, Janet, for bringing that in. And I love that there'll be a WhatsApp group too. That's so fun. I don't know, is Callie, is she on the call right now, Kaylee?
Kaylee, she's usually not able to attend on Sunday, but sometimes she can be.
Oh my goodness, Kaylee is doing something so amazing. I saw in the chat, she's sending out 2 books as a gift every week. One to someone local, like either, and then one to like a library, or to someone in Africa that has been saying, I don't know how to get this book, but I really want to. So I think she sent it to Senegal. I can't remember all the other countries, but I just wanted to acknowledge her gift of love, paying it forward in that way. Jana, thank you so much. For anything else you want to share before we transition?
No, I'm just really excited. I have my own personal goal of getting the books to libraries and prison, and just finding the ins and outs of it. You know, I want it to go to people who will embrace it and not just, you know, give it away. But it's got such a special spirit. I have it at my work. I've given it a couple of books away at my work, and I keep it with me. It's just, it has, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the story, but the book had just come out in June of 2020. And I didn't know how to spell Namaskar, and I wanted to spell Namaskar. So I looked back and I grabbed the book to look at the index where it has the spelling of Namaskar. And I felt this surge of energy just rush through my body. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was overwhelmed. It felt so beautiful. And what I recognized was it was all the prayers and the blessings that have been offered on this book. And I was so deeply grateful for it. I just knew that it had a very, very special spirit. So it is my intention this year to be able to share it with more people, most people who I don't know, you know, and just allowing the book to guide me, you know, just like the Ingmans when they were in, where were they? Not Colombia. They were in Cuba, and they took a couple of books with them, and they were guided to give the book away. And it was just so beautiful. I think Ingmans are on the call right now. Would you guys mind unmuting and just sharing a little clip about what you guys experienced? Oh, you're still muted, Joseph. Oh, still muted. Up, muted still.
Well, I'll just say that the people of Cuba, the people that we interacted with, were so happy to get the book. And it was such a joy for us to go with such a hearted purpose to share the book and share the teachings wherever we could. It just changed our whole trip. And we're heading to Mexico on Tuesday, and we're going to bring the book again, though we don't have it in Spanish now. But anyway, it's just, there's a lending library at the place we're staying, and I'm going to leave a copy of the book there. It just, it just puts a different purpose in your life. And you're helping. I mean, I think so many of us have a desire to help from our hearts what's going on in the world. And this is a real tool. This is stuff that really works that we can share.
It was also important that it end up in the best place possible. I guess you never know, but I think was going to end up in the Department of Health through one connection that we made. It also was going to end up in libraries where one was a library where people come and read, but another one was actually a bookstore that they allow people to come in and read their books who, can't buy them. And there was also a sense of how it was very much in alignment with what their needs were, because they didn't have medicine. They didn't have access to medicine. They have great health care, but they have no material to support it, to back it up. So this is a great, I was just thinking the other day, everything they grow is basically organic because they can't afford fertilizer, so it's a nice way to have healthy food. And so the concepts are very much in alignment with what their needs are. And it was really welcomed warmly.
Yeah.
Going along with that, over the last few weeks, we've been doing special calls to help people in Turkey and Syria affected by the earthquake. The miracles and beautiful, I'm in chills right now, but the things that have happened as a result of that, because it's accessible. In fact, on today's call, your hands or body's always with you. You can press these points. And the stories you're going to hear on next Sunday's call from a scene of some of the miracles that have happened with that community are going to be, it's so beautiful. It's a way in which you realize you don't have to put power outside of you. If you just discover, you take time to remember some of these ancient secrets, then you feel more confident no matter what happens on planet Earth, which is one of my personal goals for this community, is that you feel more independent, more capable, that no matter what comes on this planet, you say, I've got this, a certain mentality and skill set and emergency kit, so you're ready. And I like that it's so accessible. So thank you, Dr. Joseph, for bringing that in. So beautiful. And I love that. I always love when there's furry friends.
Frankie, come. Frankie, come.
Frankie.
Frankie Doodle.
Oh, Frankie. It's so cool. I'm going to see if we're lucky before the end of the call. I'm going to introduce you to one of my lovely friends as well. We'll see if she decides to come on this call. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jana, for that so much. So, these calls usually go about 90 minutes, but I'm going to try and give you as much as I can in this short period of time. The reason why I want to start with this video of frozen shoulder is because it gives you something visually to understand what's happening inside. So we're going to do a short visual example of what is Marmaa Shakti. And then we're going to do Marmaa Shakti together to help remove some blocks, reinvigorate your system. And then we're going to drop in with some poetry by this 90-year young goddess, M.L. Hobson. And then we have some real special thing where I'm going to share real quick some other marmas that will be really powerful for your own emergency kit. It's not a kit because you always have it with you, but your emergency preparedness mindset to make sure you have these with you. And then we have a powerful song, a musical experience by Gary Malkin, in which you're just going to be so happy that you're here for this. Oh, here she is. Hey, Luna, you want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? So this is Luna. She was so cute the other day, just making us laugh so much. Just how much personality, how much love come from these animals. I like that Morgine was talking about being an animal communicator. Also, my girlfriend does things to help animals and people with reprogramming subconscious, but it's so much about being. And I respect so much how every morning now she's doing her own meditation, going into her own subconscious reprogramming. And we'll talk a little bit about that more, hopefully not on one of these Sundays very soon. So thank you, Luna, for being here. And thank you, Frankie, and all the other four-legged or furry or feathered friends that are joining this call too. So happy you're here. So what is Marmaa Shakti? For those who are here on the call for the first time, maybe don't know what is Marmaa. Marmaa is an ancient technology of transformation which affects us both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It helps remove blocks and rebalance the system. It's by these, it was been preserved, lots of these Marmaa secrets by these masters. So right behind me, you can see Dr. Naram, and then also, let's see if I can pull it off the shelf, or I've been showing my book, but this is Jivaka. So Jivaka was the physician for the Buddha. And so through whatever intuition, guidance, inspiration, he learned what are these powerful points that you can press, which help remove blocks and rebalance the system. So one of the ways in which it's so visually apparent is when someone has a frozen shoulder. Has anyone on this call ever had a frozen shoulder before? If you're in the 100-day course, we're going to actually show soon. Next Saturday, we'll show what you can do at home. Some Marmaa Shakti processes, you have to have a practitioner there. In fact, this took me 7 years to learn. But now it's so powerful to have this tool, this powerful tool. But there are some that you can do at home. We're going to learn some you can do at home. The frozen shoulder, we're going to learn on next Saturday's training call for those who are in the 100-day experience. But right now, I just want you to see this, witness this. And Dr. Stephen, if you're still on the call, I'll have you comment about it. This was someone who had Marmaa Shakti last time before me by Dr. Naram. And so I started to feel really a little bit insecure, one of those moments of doubting myself. And then I thought, I can give 100%. I can't guarantee the results, but I can guarantee I can give 100%. And he's a very famous meditation teacher. Actually, Stephen, are you still on the call? Let's see if, how do you describe?
Right here.
Oh, fantastic. How do you?
So John Osborne was a transcendental meditation teacher many years ago, and then he through his blessings and grace became the president of Art of Living of North America, which is a huge organization. And now he teaches veterans and heads of state and big things in the world, but in service he does this. And it's great to have more freedom in your body when you travel as much as he does. And John actually grew up right near where I live, so I get to spend time on the lake with him in the summer. And we swim a lot and we sail a lot. So he's an active guy in his 70s, and you'll see in the video how much more freedom he got.
Yeah, he came to the event. I had heard, he teaches meditation at places like the White House and NASA. I don't know, heads of state, and had such a beautiful connection with Dr. Naram. So I thought, okay, Aditi Devo Baba, he's here for some reason, the gift of him being here. And then this is what unfolded in that space. Can you just demonstrate what it was like before?
Before it was like that, like this, and now it's like this.
This book will help to understand what wisdom means and how we as humans can enter into the field of wisdom in a natural way. And I think it will change so many lives.
As you read, each chapter unlocks more and more barriers from your mind and opens up your heart more and more to what's possible in your life.
This is an example of just being limitless.
Beautiful Syracuse, Stephen.
I'm so happy. I've been thinking about this man since Dr. Naram passed away and how I wanted to contact him. I come to Syracuse, New York, of all places, for the clinic, and Dr. Steve told me that he just saw John Osborne the day before. He came here today. We had a beautiful Marmaa session. This man has been friends with Dr. Naram for 20 years. And can you share, who was Dr. Naram?
Dr. Naram was one of the most gifted healers I ever have come in contact with. And I first saw him at a time when I was traveling a lot. My body was really fatigued and having a really hard time functioning day to day. And he completely turned my life around. Between his pulse diagnosis and the herbs he prescribed, and also the wisdom he gave me, and also some of the Marmaa. I was very grateful to have a Marmaa session with Dr. Clint today, because he helped with a frozen shoulder to the point where I regained mobility. I haven't had one shoulder for 7 years.
Lift your arms, how far they can go. Oh, like there. Okay, super. You can put it down. Just want you in your imagination, see yourself lifting it 6 inches higher. Is that okay? Okay, now go ahead and lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it.
Wow.
What the? Okay, go ahead and with this arm again, just go ahead and lift it up, lift it, lift it, lift it. What on earth? That is so cool! Just go ahead and lift both arms up over your head. Go ahead and lift it. Yeah! Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naram.
Good. How does it feel?
It feels free.
Yeah, very good.
So I'm really grateful to be, again, part of Dr. Naram's organization, and I actually felt his blessings and his presence in the middle of the treatment. So today was a blessed day for me, and I'm very grateful to Dr. Naram. All the blessings that he's given to me and to millions of other people. And Clint is very definitely carrying on that tradition. So I feel also blessed to be here today with Dr. Clint.
Yeah, there was one beautiful moment where I asked John before to show, can you show before how far you could move your arms? Can you just demonstrate what it was like before?
Before it was like that, and now it's like this.
And at this moment in which we're doing this ancient technology, I just said, whoa, I feel like Dr. Naram is here with us, and he says, 30 seconds ago I had that same thought. Very good. I kind of feel like Dr. Naram was right here with us.
I had the exact same feeling.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, I did.
I just got this
But
sense
30 seconds ago, I'm like, oh, we are not alone.
Oh, he's here, he's doing like a lot of stuff through us right now. I just feel so grateful to Dr. Naram. Thank you for devoting your life to protect, preserve, and promote these ancient secrets so that all of us can be blessed.
Namaskar. I am Dr. Pankaj Naram. Today we are with the most powerful, life-transforming, ancient healing secrets.
And John, thank you for your life and your dedication.
And thank you for continuing Dr. Naram's legacy and making this available to many more people.
Yeah. Can you also just share, what do you do? What is your work and your mission?
I teach meditation and breath work to people all over the world through the Art of Living Foundation. Most recently to frontline healthcare workers. We were teaching them for free, thousands and thousands of them, so that they can let go of their trauma and post-traumatic stress and go back and serve other people. So Dr. Naram has been really instrumental. I've been teaching this work for 30 years, and Dr. Naram was probably more responsible than any other medical professional I was in touch with, keeping my body and nervous system strong enough to do this work. So wherever you are, Dr. Naram, thank you for all you've done.
Yeah. And I want to say, if you have a mission in this life, if you have a passion, if you want to be of service, why not love your body, take care of it in such a way that you can do that? And John is a perfect example. He had not only the love and the care to love others, but the wisdom to care for himself in such a way that he could continue to serve. And I don't know, it just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
And thank you, Dr. Naram.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Naram.
So beautiful. All right, Dr. Stephen. When people see this, my fear is that they'll think that healing comes from outside of them. And I want to wipe that away. It doesn't come when you meet Dr. Naram or when you meet Dr. Clint or when you meet Dr. Stephen. One of the most powerful things about the ancient secrets, I never knew. First of all, this is a surprise to me that I'm even doing this work. I never knew this was possible. But one of the things that drew me to this work is because it's something anyone can do in their own home if they choose it. You want to speak to that a little bit, and anything that you saw in the video or anything that you feel inspired to share?
So one of the best lines I ever heard was, nature needs no help, just no interference. So Siddhaveda, Ayurveda, Dr. Naram, the work that we all do is we remove the blockages and then nature just takes over. that's why we do the detox, to remove the blockages, to soften the blockages. And then it makes our work look easy. But it's really the power of nature, the power of the life force in the body that does the healing. And by eating simply, we can then simply live without pain, without suffering. And sometimes we can live with pain without suffering, which is a big deal, which I've learned this past week in the clinic with the pain that I had, that I didn't have to suffer it. I could say this leg is hurting, not my leg. And in the clinic, they just kept removing the obstacles. And I am in Delhi and I walked.
Yeah. It's really powerful. I just want to pause on what you just shared because it's really helpful. Sometimes when some pain or dis-ease comes, we identify with it. And you want to watch what happens in your mind, because it's not just what you feed yourself here, but what you feed yourself here. And even when you're sick or in pain, you can just observe it instead of identify with it and think that something's wrong and then magnify it through wrong action. You can observe it and let it be your teacher and greet it like Atiti Devo Bhava, treat the unexpected guest as if God himself or herself has come. Now, because I want to move things, first of all, Dr. Stephen, thank you. Love you so much. I love your example of how you face whatever as an opportunity to implement the ancient secrets. And I'm so excited.
Sai Ma taught me that. She said, this is the body, not my body. And we realize that even our heartbeat is outside of who we are. It's not who we are.
I like that a lot. Yeah. So you can recognize, okay, here I am and I'm having this experience, but it's not me. Who are you is a question that we'll get to. And on yesterday's call, we built up to this moment of knowing that what if more is possible than you ever before imagined? What if even your identity, who you think you are, is limited in terms of allowing all the divine amazingness to flow through you? What if this is the most exciting time to be alive on the earth and everything that comes into your life is God himself or herself showing up for you as a gift? So how do you switch in the midst of pain, especially if it's mental, emotional, physical pain, in going from feeling depleted to feeling invigorated? Well, first of all, I'm going to share this Marmaa Shakti secret. Let me just get to it real quick. I just want to open this up so you can actually visualize it as I'm demonstrating it. We'll do this, and then we'll go to this 90-year young, fantastic person who's joining the call, ML Hobson, to share some poetry, because it's not just about regaining your health. What do you do when you have it? What wants to be expressed through you? And in this community, I know there's a lot of music, there's a lot of poetry, there's a lot of creative business ideas, there's a lot of books, there's a lot of courses, there's a lot of talent that maybe you've been too afraid to express or fully embody. Like I see on the call is Roma Rishi and Tara. I know we're all so excited. He spent his life dedicated to meet these Siddha masters, and he hasn't yet written his book. So Roma Rishi, as a community, we want you to complete this book. We helped Denny Dakin complete her book, Love is the Only Truth, before she left her body. Larry just completed his book, which is so powerful. We'll talk about on a future call, and so many other powerful things that I believe will come through you. So in doing these marmas, you remove the block, you get more confidence about what is your gift to express in the world, like Morgine, being an animal communicator, whatever is your gift. And so we'll enjoy ML Hobson, her powerful gift. But first of all, let me share my screen. We're going to do this Marmaa Shakti process together. So you remember with the frozen shoulder, very visual, the block was removed. There was more flexibility. This one, you may not see it, but you'll feel it. This is from the book on page 31. It's this Marmaa Shakti process to help stimulate more happiness and focus and release anxiety. So what you want to do is put your left hand behind your head, just for support, and you take your right hand and your pointer finger and you press this point right on your upper lip here, kind of below your nose and right kind of where that divot is. Dr. Stephen, is there a name for that divot? I don't know if there is a name. I think there is, but you should learn what that is.
Divot. It's a divot.
It's called divot. We should make up a name for that because it's one of my favorite parts of the human body is this little part right there. Okay, so
it's our happy spot.
Happy spot. Okay, so when you press here, you breathe in. Oh, Dr. Joseph, you know the name?
Well, no. I don't, but I know there is one, a medical one, but I was going to share, I think Rabbi Steve talked about this, that when we are born, it's where the angel hits, taps us with the hammer that erases our memories of our past lives so that we come in fresh. And so I have in the past done this before, and it opens up, it has the potential to open up channels of remembering and connecting us to our true selves from who we have been and who we are now.
Oh, that is so powerful. And speaking of Dr. Stephen, he's coming on next Sunday's call. He's been through a very deep healing process in a rehabilitation center for some surgeries he's been through. But what a powerful thing. Even that analogy. Oh, Maya, what a gift. You told us what it is. What's it called?
It's the philtrum.
Philtrum. Oh, Tyler, thank you. Okay. So this powerful philtrum. Okay, great. So now, thank you. Now we're going to do this process together and just enjoy this. It's kind of like a resetting. I love that analogy that Dr. Stephen gave and that Dr. Joseph reminded us of. Left hand, right finger goes here. And as you press it, you breathe in. And as you unpress it, you breathe out. We're just going to do this 6 times. So go ahead and one time, press it, breathe in. Breathe out. Press it, breathe in. Breathe out. Press it, breathe in. Breathe out. Number 4, press it, breathe in. Breathe out. Number 5, press it, breathe in. Breathe out. And last one, number 6, press it, breathe in. Breathe out. Even I feel really good after doing that. This is Dr. Obviously 300 people a day. How? He would go in the back and he'd press Marmaa points like this one. So as you feel that and as you're dropping more and more into your heart space, we're going to go over to you, wonderful ML Hobson. And I just want to give a little bit of more background as we hear this. After she shares, we have a really special experience, and I'll share 2 or 3 more Marmas if we have time. So let me just see if I can real quick. There we go. Put you on spotlight. All right. Fantastic. All right. So grateful you're here. ML, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Any feedback so far from today's call? Any thoughts, insight, anything that love has taught you so far on today's call?
You want to share anything about the call? About what? About the call. The call? Nah, just
Okay, no problem.
great to be here.
It's so great to have you here. So you wrote 2 books and you're going to share 2 poems for us today. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Please share with us.
Thank you. Okay. Here's the first one. Here's the first one. The first poem that I started writing. The man had a taste for Chippendale chairs, positively obtruse, desirous of a throne that sets the stage for all the rage to plot, ploy, and then upstage. The man had a taste for Chippendale chairs. A royal crust is he, who's fine, a connoisseur no doubt, who preferred to recline with a damsel in mind, while dining on truffles and imbibing claret wine. He had a taste for Chippendale chairs. It's the actress with a hint of sperm posa, his appendage to reclaim his prodigy to fame. The man had a taste for Chippendale chairs. In England, tapestry appeals. Daringly zealous, woven is chic. When it raises a frame with a flick, it's a whim. Bask in all the trim. King George, the late Mad Hatter, in spurious, nauseous matter, neither expiated, placated, nor abdicated. He had a taste for Chippendale chairs. Its musicology and adagio, his repertoire in pomposity. triumphantly scintillating, malodorously activating. When he placed his tush upon the cush, the man had a taste for Chippendale chairs.
So beautiful. Oh, beautiful. I don't know. I don't know how to show you everyone's faces, but you got a lot of smiles coming your way, ML Hobson. What inspired that poem? Can you share?
I was on my way to Mississippi, where I was born, and I heard these men who were auctioneering talking about Chippendale chairs. And it sounds.
I want to make sure I'm understanding you. Are you saying, is it, some part of me is hearing Chippendale chairs, but I don't think that's what you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Chippendale chairs. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was hearing you right on that one. Okay, so they're chairs. Okay, there's different Chippendales in the world. There's the chipmunks, and then there's the dancers. So you're talking about the dancers.
Yes.
The chairs.
Chairs.
The chairs. You got it. The chairs that the dancers use or the strippers use.
No.
No, there's a type of a chair called Chippendale chairs.
Yes.
Okay. I'm being educated now. So now I'm getting the right image in my mind. I'm going to search on Google right now. Make sure I know what you're talking about. Okay, so he was auctioning Chippendale chairs, which is something I've never heard of before. But then you saw him auctioning these. And then you got inspired to write this poem.
I'm inspired to write this poem.
So fun. Okay, I'm right now searching on Google Chippendale chairs. So that way I make sure I have a better image in my mind. Okay, just 1 second. I'll see if I can find any images for everyone. So that way. Oh, wow, they're so beautiful. Wow, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing I never knew about. Here, let me just share for everyone.
Thank you.
Wow, look at this. So this is a whole genre of chairs.
Yes.
Fancy chairs.
Wow. Now I know a new, oh, and then here's the Chippendale, one of the Chippendales I was thinking about, and I'm not going to scroll far enough to see the other one, images of the other one. Okay. Now you have a second poem for us?
Yes, I want to introduce that one a bit for you. When ML was 12 years old, she heard that the Freedom Train was coming to Jackson, Mississippi, and she lived outside of Jackson. And she wanted to go see it because I don't know if everybody's familiar with it, but it was a train, I think it had 8 cars. And the purpose of that was dedicated to the history of democracy. And so they had key papers and things on the train. And they had the Emancipation Proclamation, which Lincoln wrote for this freeing of slaves. And ML's grandparents were slaves. And at the time she went to see this, her grandmother was still living. Her parents did not want her to go. They said it's too dangerous, but she snuck out of the house when it was dark. She walked the 10 miles to the train and she got in line, and there were 2 lines, one for the blacks and one for the whites. She stood in line all day long till 6 at night before she got on the train. And this is what this poem is about.
Wow.
And one of the key things one of the key things that I should say is that when she was on the train and she saw the Bill of Rights and the Emancipation Proclamation, she said it was the first time she felt free and part of this nation.
Wow.
And the title of the poem is A Black Child's Walk to See the Freedom Train. On an early morning in 45, I took the longest stride of my life. Alone, I walked with the weight of fear, shackled through the streets that harbored lives, broken shades of defeat in both mind and spirit. The streets were muddy and dark. Lurking around dark corners were shacks sheltering hapless souls. Dogs barked to create alarm, but I knew meant no harm, and they let me travel on. The trees along the dark street cast a canopy to protect this child, aged 10 and 2, bowing to the guards to let her through on her journey to see the freedom train that promised to let her trust again.
So beautiful. I want you to hear some feedback from people on the call. Anyone on the call have something you want to speak to ML Hobson about her poetry or her presence?
Yes, clapping hands.
Sonia, thank you so much. Beautiful. Anyone else have anything you want to share? Any feedback or anything you want to share?
I'm just so happy that my dear friend, Karen Catalog, introduced me to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad she introduced you to us.
Yes, it's been really a privilege being here.
I want to say
So
thank you.
happy.
Thank you so much for your poem. I teach students about Lincoln and the release of slavery and that the trauma and the whole journey, and to hear you and to know that you live that, and then you're able to write a poem and share your experiences. I am just tingling all over to have that experience, that energy added to when I teach it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So much. Thank you so much.
I am so happy to see ML on Zoom. We have been friends with her for many years in Iowa, and we've moved to Idaho, and it's so wonderful to be able to connect with her again and to listen to her read her poetry. And she looks so young today. You look beautiful, ML.
Thank you, Laura.
You're my inspiration.
Thank you both. Thank you.
That is so sweet. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for joining today. And who's the handsome man in the video with you, Laura?
That's my husband, Don.
Hey, Don. So glad you're here too. Welcome, welcome. So beautiful. Emma, I'm hearing things here. Tara Romer, she said, brought tears to my eyes. Zappy says, I think she's 60, not 90, but thank you for your poetry.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Denise says, what a brave, well-intentioned soul from the start. Oh,
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
Susan Oniglia says, wow, tears of gratitude and joy. Carol Ray, actually, Carol, you want to come on and share your...
I just said ML could have a whole new career sharing her skin secrets, her skincare secrets with us all, because I look at her skin and I think, oh my gosh, she looks so incredibly beautiful. But I'm sure it's the radiance from her soul that's given her face such a glow. I'm so grateful to have you today. Are you from Iowa, or where are you from?
No, I've lived in Iowa over 70 years. But I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, a little town outside of Jackson called Gowdy.
I have my Iowa Hawkeye shirt on today.
Oh, good.
So good. We didn't, some of us didn't know that Iowans had a symbol. So I'm so glad that we could see that, and so glad you joined this call. You're sharing it. It actually was perfect, because as you're talking about what shaped, a lot of people on this call are not from the USA. They're joining from all over the world. But as we think about what shapes any country, it's people who have inspired or not so inspired ideas. And either they're coming from ego, they're coming from fear. Like, I've been to many countries where the basis of the foundation of the country was from fear and anger, actually. And where the formation of the national identity was because they had been occupied by other people at different times, and then they had pushed back with anger, and then they established themselves, or is it guided by love, and our country is going to be a thing in the future. It was an invention by humans anyway, and then inside of countries, do we honor the life, the divine of every person and every animal and all the life that's there? And so you're sharing, it just brings us back to a moment in time when, at least in one country, people started to do something more right in a way, and making sure that there was rights for people regardless of the color of their skin, which makes no sense. Why would the color of skin matter ever? I love MLK. It's so fun that you're ML Hobson, and then we think about MLK. You know, that what if people can be judged for the content of their character instead of the color of their skin? And so in this community, having you share this now is so powerful, because as a community, as an individual, and together, what are we going to create on planet Earth that's more healthy for humans, that creates more vibrant health, unlimited energy, and peace of mind? I think one reason, I never stated this publicly, but I think one reason why the ancient secrets came back onto the planet now in this way, where we're going to be on Mexican TV, we're going to be on the podcast in the Arabic countries, why it's published in Russian and Japanese and Turkish and all these languages, is because it unlocks in us, like Jana said so beautifully, it removes toxins from our body. We come back to our intuition. We can be guided more clearly, more creatively from the place of love. And the opening question that Dr. Ram would ask people is, what do you want? What do you want? Now, yesterday I shared real vulnerably on the call for the 100-day experience about my journey, really not even believing that I could do a lot of the stuff that now I see happening or facilitate a lot of it. I shared about actually the really beautiful story with Dr. Dagmar, where, you know, just going to her clinic, and actually there's a really funny moment where, you know, I'm just trying to decide if I should share this or not, but I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what was possible. The silence helped. Being exposed to things that I thought were a miracle pushed me out of what I thought was possible or logical into a space where I saw so much more was possible, helped. And then, to be honest, there's been different stages of the journey. And one of the most amazing stages of the journey is right now with you. I never knew. After Dr. Ram passed, I didn't know if I was going to continue. I didn't know what was going to happen. You know, I went through a real dark spot where I just felt so much depression, and like everything that I had building towards and really had a hope in my mind was gone. Like I had that feeling. And then one reason why I liked honoring these four-legged friends, Luna sleeping here and blessing us with their presence, is because the appearance of that miracle dog, Milo, and how Milo reminded me about Atiti Devo Bhava, you know, to treat the unexpected guest as if God himself or herself has come. And then through that, I wasn't planning on this community coming into form. It was never like The Secret, where you have an intention and then you manifest it. That was never my intention, that the book was going to be published in so many languages, but it unfolded because it's time. And the reason why it works is if you work it, and if you allow it to shift your being, not just about knowing. Yes, the knowing helps, but then you go into the doing. Like Tyler and Maya so beautifully this whole week, Hmong soup, it's so cool. First time making it on Monday, I already made it 3 times. Now being curious about what about the herbs and those 6 instruments? And then Marmaa Shakti, just doing it as an experiment, and also going for your own personal silence. For those in the 100-day experience, this week is the week where your challenge activity is either going for a full day of silence or going for 1 to 7 days of social media fast, you know, and you'll read about that. But when you allow all the busyness of your mind to settle and come into that state of presence, then you would be surprised. We're all going to be in awe. We're going to celebrate with you the miracles that are possible. I'm going to share with you one little video of Dr. Ram, and then I'm going to share 2 more Marmas. Before that, though, Esther, you have something you want to share?
Yes, I do. And it's about synchronicity. And when I learned that I missed yesterday's call, I thought, oh no, how did I do that? But what happened at that time is I had a very special experience. And that experience was because when I lost my voice and was at the peak of all these things happening, and then I said, there's something more happening here. Well, yesterday morning at the very same time, probably as the call, I had an experience with someone who was able to see that the root of my problem had to do when I was a Black woman after the Civil War and was harangued about my voice, and that the roots of this, you know, coming up and literally losing my voice had to do with that, and the synchronicity of ML Hobson today sharing
her beauty, her voice, her incredible poetry, and is my new role model for the vivacity I want to experience when I'm 90. But also the message that, even like you said in your despair, when Milo came on after you lost the body experience of Dr. Naram, that sometimes when things persist, there's something more. There's the Devi, what is the message? How is the divine showing up in the disease, the grief, the pain as messenger to direct us to keep on, going to that route, not being discouraged, so that we don't get caught in this idea. I mean, I identify one of my primary blessings is joy, but we don't want to get caught and trapped in, we want to be able to encompass the arising of these other experiences, and that they also have gifts within them. The Devi, I can't, devil, you know what I mean, the Bhava one, and the unexpected. So that's kind of what I wanted to share. And I'm just I'm so moved that even though on the one hand, I missed something that had I known I would have been there, I was still in attunement. That it's what you're speaking of, Dr. Clint. There's so much more when we break out of the nutshell of thinking we're this limited this.
This is why we have the golden angels. This is so perfectly letting love guide and recognizing the divine orchestration of our hearts and our souls in this space. That's why when I was saying, one of the most amazing miracles is right now, it's because of you, all of us. Our hearts chose to be here now. This is one of the reasons why we're here, to remember. And so thank you, Esther, for being such a beautiful example of that. And ML Hobson, you have something you wanted to share, or Karen?
I do. I want to say that the reason I have this wonderful friend is because she's so inspiring. She had, she grew up with so much racism, and that's why at 19 she left Mississippi and came to Iowa in hopes that, she would be treated better, which she was, but she had so much pain done to her and so many awful things. And this is the most loving person, the most giving person I have ever met in my entire life. She is so gentle in her power of love.
Thank you so much.
So beautiful. I love that you're best friends. And I love, ML, that through the pain, through the challenge, this diamond emerged. Through the pressure of life, we get this golden diamond of love to reflect to us back the beauty of life through your poetry. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we could talk more actually with Ancient Secrets Foundation in conjunction with Wisdom of the World Press. We're actually doing something now where we're helping publish books of people in the community that just need to get out. Like Denny Dakin, she went through so much abuse and different things and came to realize love is the only truth. Such an important message. And Roma Rishi and Larry and some others that we're talking to. So if you have more poetry inside of you, I'd say this is the most exciting time for those poems to come through. So keep that alert awake, and then we'll be in communication if we can be of service to you in any way. The love of your being. So thank you again, ML Hobson. Beautiful. We have a limited amount of time. I want to make sure that we share a couple more Marmas, that we answer Maya's important question, and then we go into breakout rooms to allow you just to say, what did love teach you today? And we have a really special musical gift from Gary. So I'm going to share at least one Marma because I know time is tight. I just want to share this, actually maybe these two. Let's imagine you're in a situation. So on the newsletter, if you're not on the newsletter, make sure you get on the newsletter. You go to myancientsecrets.com, and there's just a place you click, you put your email. But I showed a specific Marma for decreasing nausea. I've used this so many times. You actually take your right hand, you'll take both, but you put your pointer finger down. This is so helpful. Has anyone ever felt like you needed to vomit on a plane or in turbulence or in some way and you didn't know what to do? This helps decrease vata. It also helps with improving sleep if your mind is going so much. So you take your right hand and you just put it down on your palm, your pointer finger. You can do it with both hands, but just keep from confusion. You go like this, and then you put your other fingers together like this, and you go squeeze 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can experiment. You can do 2 fingers too, which I do sometimes if I want to amplify the experience. When I do this and I press 6 times and I put my hands here, I can even feel the vata, the wind energy, go into the ground. I would share so many stories about how this has been helpful, but just keep this in your toolkit. You'll be very happy you had it for yourself or someone else, decreasing the nausea and also helping to sleep better. There's another one that I want to share real quick too, there's another one that Dr. Ram teaches for nausea too. On your left palm, 2 fingers down between your ring finger and your pinky finger. So between your ring finger and your pinky finger on your left hand, you go 2 fingers down, and that point, you use your right index finger and you can press it 6 times. Wow, even there, I feel it. I must have a lot of vata happening right now. And then there's one for joints, rheumatoid arthritis and decreasing back pain. Again, on your left hand, you go 2 fingers down on the side of your hand from your pinky finger. Then right there, you can use your index finger 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When Heidi was helping me create the slide, she's like, I love this one. It works like magic. She's like, I do it and it helps. She's sitting oftentimes at a computer working on different slideshows and creating such beautiful slideshows. And ever since she learned that, she started doing that, 2 fingers down. We're going to share many more with you. We'll share some more next Sunday if anyone can join, because I wanted to share more, but I want to make sure you have this experience. First of all, I want to go to Maya, back to Maya. Maya, did you get an answer to your question? I just want to see if in the chat you felt like you got an answer to your question.
Yes, I did. I think I got a lot of support, and from everyone that shared their experience, it sounds like it's way worth the investment. The benefits are worth the investment. So I think I just got that reassurance. Okay, so a lot of you have been going through this process, and it's not that I had a doubt, but it's just like as you were reading the book, I was reading your book, there was this seed of doubt, but what about is this going to really work? Is this necessary?
Yeah.
It's just again going to my lesson of surrendering. This is kind of my big word of this year. And it's just going back to surrendering, back to trusting that I'm called this way, and I need to just surrender and trust this path. So thank you.
First of all, I'm just observing myself that as I see both of you and I hear you speak, I can't help but smile. You bring so much joy. It's like I'm also with the anticipation of your journey. Would you feel comfortable sharing us your journey as it happens, as it unfolds? Because now we know you at the beginning. And then in the middle, and as things progress, can you come back and check in and share with us what's happening? Because now we all love you.
I would love that. I would love that. I will document the journey. I would love to share every Sunday on our calls how things are going. So
good. You could give us a little update, and then we can follow your journey with you.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Thank you. Give Kai a big hug, and big hug for Tyler as well. And you can hug each other as if it's from all of us. Actually, let's put our hands together real quick. We're going to blast you so much love. We love you. We're with you. So excited for your journey. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. I could just look at you guys all day. It makes me so happy. All right. Gary Malkin has a special treat for us. And then we'll go into breakout rooms after this. But Gary, do you want to describe this experience? Yesterday, we talked about the question, what do you want? And also, what does your heaven on earth look like? And today, Gary, what's the special treat you have for us?
There is, hello, everybody. Thank you, Clint, because I know that time is so rare. I won't talk a minimum. About 1992, a dear friend of mine, Pamela Poland, asked me to produce and arrange an album for her. And I so rarely have the opportunity to share songs from that album. And I did once before, called A Place to Be. This one is the perfect song to just spotlight and celebrate and say hello and let your light shine as we honor this community together. So whoever does the spotlighting, I'm inviting you to do this, because this is in the medicine of being in the experience of loving one another, we get to really let our vibrational frequency uplift to alignment with this gorgeous energy of love that we're all here together to share. So as this song goes, let yourself feel that we are all the imaginal souls in the butterfly of the universe, right? We are the emerging imaginal souls that are allowing ourselves to be guided by love, guided by Dr. Naram's teachings, and by the unbelievable demonstration of love that Clint has demonstrated by sharing this work. So let yourself celebrate. Here it is.
Yeah, and then
Oh, go ahead, Clint.
yeah, well, just kind of going along with what wants to come through you. Yes, what do you want, but also what wants to come through you. At the end of the call, I'll share a beautiful thing that's coming through Nehemiah called Immunity for Humanity. We have some beautiful call coming up on the 25th. I'll share a little bit more about it, but for each of you, what wants to come through you in this expression of life?
So this is entertainment, not entertainment. So let your light be shining to the community. Here we go.
Honoring, we are honoring. Honoring, we are honoring. We are honoring each other, of that you can be sure. Honoring, we are honoring the bond that we created with our loving will endure. Honoring, we are honoring when I reach out for loving friendship. You are always there. You are always there. Honoring. People often meet as
Hey,
joy.
oh, so good to see you, brother.
Friends connecting friendships, we extend our families. Then life's tribulations take their toll, and separation can occur unless we take the time for honoring. We are honoring love and understanding. On these you can depend. Honoring, we are honoring. Problems may arise between us. We will always bear. We will always bear. Honoring. I can be open when I'm with you. If I get stuck, you pull me through. And all of this you do with honoring. We are honoring. Honoring, we are honoring. Honoring, we are honoring.
So just let yourself feel the practice of joy and celebration right now. Just feel how it affects the water in your body, the soul, the heart, the mind. Notice how the magic of music can uplift us and our frequency into the oneness that we are. Honoring by Pamela Poland. I love you and I'm with you. Thank you for letting us share these 5 minutes of joy together. Last for hours. Let ourselves benefit from that.
Thank you, Gary.
That has to be one of the ones we have to share, like always, sometime. You know, it's so beautiful. It's like my smile muscles are going crazy.
Me too. And from seeing so many people from around the world and people that I haven't seen since the beginning of the book launch, like I just want to acknowledge that, Jay, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but brother, I got so excited to see you. So happy. How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh no, thank you. I was just saying to a friend, I'm gonna step off and go and talk. I'll be right back. I'm staying with a friend right now. How you been, Clint?
Amazing to see you. When the book was launched, one of my favorite things that happened was Che had created a mix-up of a video with Bruce Lee, Dr. Naram, and people talking about the ancient secrets. It's so fun. I don't know if you remember that. But a martial artist, a dancer, and someone that I just love. I'm so happy to see you here.
Yeah, God, there's so much I can say and share, but I just wait till you ask me the specific questions. But I can attest, doing this for about going on 3 years now, because I've been practicing yoga, and because of my practice with yoga and union with the body, Sita Veda makes so much sense now. It makes absolute sense. So I can't convince anybody, but there's hella proof in mung beans for sure. That stuff invigorates me. I'm so ripped because of the mung beans. Like that protein is incredible. That's for sure. And when I programmed in Marmas, dancing and martial arts, you have to push your life in that true direction. And I had no idea. Matter of fact, my confidence was so low that when I did the Marmas to discover what I want, I couldn't even believe it. And it was just right in front of me. But when it came to martial arts, boxing specifically right now, you'd be surprised what they're saying about me in Dallas, the YouTube videos, the underground fighting I've been doing. And you'd be surprised what they're saying about me. I have the biggest name. It's so much to say in that one avenue. Yeah. But what happens is, I could say that for sure that it'll put you in that direction. Yeah. I can't, I just don't want to make people start programming stuff, but I'm
no
telling
problem.
you.
Actually, I want to make an invitation because we're kind of drawing to the end of this particular call. But next Sunday, can you come and share a little bit more? Maybe even bring us through a dance experience or something. I'll reach out to you. But I'm just so happy to see you. My cheeks are smiling so big. I'm thank you. So happy with what's happening in your life, and I know we'll want to follow up because we go from 90 and all the way through. The ancient secrets are so powerful. And I also saw Gavin on the call. It makes me so happy to see representation from powerful young life, expressing fully with using the ancient secrets. So thank you, Che. So happy to see you here. So beautiful. I also saw Art. I was looking for you the whole call, but you had another name. He has so please forgive me for not seeing you earlier. I was looking the whole call, but I'm talking about letting love guide you. Art, who's a chef, and he's really good at Ayurvedic cooking or cooking according to ancient secrets, decided to make mung bean soup for those that don't want to make it for themselves. And so right now he's in LA area, Los Angeles area. If you know anyone in Los Angeles that wants some of the most delicious soup made according to the ancient secrets with the option of having it delivered to their home, this is what Art has been inspired to do. Or please forgive me, what name you want me to call you? Please forgive me if I...
Well, the name I was given by Amakruna, my a spiritual teacher from India, was Bhavani Shankar.
Bhavani Shankar,
that's my spiritual name is Bhavani Shankar. So it's Art Tarbi, also known as Bhavani Shankar.
Super.
But I've been a yogi for over 55 years. And I teach the philosophy and the science of purifying, integrating, and evolving the koshas. And a large part of that, of the physical form, is diet. So I started cooking in my mother's knee when I was 3, and I just adapted everything I learned to an Ayurvedic perspective. So any cuisine can be prepared from an Ayurvedic point of view, but the purifying, detoxing diet is so also once it purifies and detoxes, it rebuilds.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing thing. We started it several years ago, Redondo Beach, when you visited with Aaron and the family that I was cooking for there.
Yeah, and then he's cooked for many famous artists and celebrities and taught other people who've cooked for Hollywood stars. Now, I got a question. It says, I'm in Northridge. Can it be delivered here? And someone else saying,
yeah, Northridge is just up the road. I'm in Sun Valley.
Okay, beautiful. How do people contact you?
If maybe they ask you and you forward my contact info, or I don't know how it works, but.
Is it okay if I put it in the chat? Would that be okay?
Sure. Just my phone number and text me, and I can, as long as I get 4 people that want to do it, then that makes it worth my while to get the whole process together.
What about Sausalito, Northern California? I want you.
I was up there for a couple of years, but
yeah,
I inspired to bring me back to LA.
On our call on February 19th, we had Marcy Scheimoff on the call, who said you made soup for her and she loved it. And so thank you for that. So anyway, this is a great opportunity. We'll put it in the chat, which is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Bob, I want to say I pronounce it right. Bhavani Shankar, correct?
Bhavani?
Shankar.
Bhavani is an aspect of Parvati, the consort of Shiva, and Shankar is another name for Shiva. So it's other names for Shiva and Shakti together.
And I'd say he's not only a powerful chef, but a powerful spiritual conduit on the planet Earth. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna put it in the chat just for anyone who is interested or knows someone in LA that may be interested. Actually, maybe I should try and spell your name correctly. Bhavani. And then I'll put the phone number here in the chat so you can reach out to him and contact him. Okay. So we're going to go into a chat pretty soon, and you're going to discuss, what do you think love is? What do you think wants to happen through you? What is love inspiring in you as the toxins are going away? What is love inspiring in you? Thank you so much for being that good example of thinking of a need and then how you can support it through your gift, which is cooking. Also, Nehemiah has something coming up soon on March 25th. He thought, how do we boost the immunity of all of humanity? He's a global thinker and a global servant of humanity. So on 25th of March from 5 to 7 p.m., there's an opportunity. I'll put the link, this Zoom link. Basically, you click here and it brings you to this website, which I'll make sure I share with everyone. So that way you can join that and discover the powerful things that are coming through him. I'm going to put that link in there. That's March 25th. Otherwise, we have so many people on this call. Also, something stirred in you. So the breakout rooms is often the most powerful place in which you can share. Now, I want to honor Shifra. Shifra actually asked this really important question before we go into the breakout room. She says this. She says, what do I do if I don't feel joy? I don't know, Shifra, I see you're walking around, but that's a really important question. I would say, be gentle on yourself. Love yourself in that space. Don't push yourself to feel anything you don't, and do experiments. Eat mung soup. Do experiments with the marma and allow the unfolding, that even that sadness or whatever it is, to be your teacher of revealing to you some gift of the divine that you are. Maybe you're sad for a very good reason and some process needs to happen. Now, there's also the Let Go Marma that we've talked about many times that I can send you, Shifra, if you put your email. But thank you for being on the call, and thank you for being honest about your experience in this moment. So we're going to go into breakout rooms right now, but we have a tradition, which is by the end of the call, we just allow ourselves to unmute ourselves, put your hands together like this, and you can just say, I love you and I'm with you.
I love
I
you
love
and
you
I'm
and
with
I'm with
you.
you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you, Jana.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you. Love you, Michelle. Love you, Katie. Love you, Harvey. Love you, Patricia. Brian, love you, Nehemiah. Love you, Ariana.
Love you and I'm with you.
Oh, how elegant.
Them, I love you. Love you, Jana.
What a miracle this group is. Thank you, everyone, for participating, whether you spoke or not. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being the divine you on this planet, exactly as you are in this moment. Thank you for having an open mind, an open heart to live life with more vibrant health, unlimited energy, and peace of mind. For those watching in Facebook land or watching the recording, we love you and we're with you.